said I got to say something, baby, hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic. Somebody hand me a mic, cause I got to say something, so just hand me a mic. When I need to say something, better hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic.
I've definitely lied about my GCSEs before.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't need to.
No. No. You passed them all.
I did.
How good though?
B's and C's. I wasn't that great.
B's and C's.
D's and C's.
D's and C's.
I got 4.
For what?
4 GCSEs.
GCSEs.
That's it.
Like overseas.
Like 4 that were C. That was it.
That's it.
I smashed my mocks. Like got A's and B's in my mocks. And then I just thought, I don't even need to revise now. And fuck my GCSEs.
Yeah, I think I lied about my GCSEs until I got to a point where I realised that they don't matter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And nobody checks anyway. Like, put straight A's on there. No one's going to be like, oh, send your certificates.
I'm ringing your school.
Yeah.
Like,
is it on a database? Like, why do we even do that?
I think at one point I had certificates. I have no idea where they are now.
Yeah.
I think they're in a tip somewhere.
we talked about this. Like, you guys never got. Not that mine was anything to look at, obviously. I'll bring it in one day.
Yeah, you got a folder, didn't you?
It was called John, and like the way it was, like the wording makes me think that everybody had it because it wasn't called like Branksom's report. It said, it's gone. National something or other, National Record of Achievement, and we all got this like proper leather like flat book, like when things are posh, got like metal gold edges. You know what I mean?
Well.
Like this. Like reddy brown leather, like all like
sounds like a fancy menu.
really fancy, like, and you opened it up and there was all these like all the paper, you know that posh paper that's like yellow.
It's nice to touch.
You know what I mean? Like yellow paper, and it's all in like rough feeling plastic things. It was really it looked really official. Yeah. National Record of Achievement. I just thought everybody got one.
Dan D.
Yeah, well, I didn't get any of them to be honest.
It's mental. Like the school probably thought this is something he's gonna take on many travels across the years. We best make it look nice.
Yeah. But like, what does happen? Like, so like in a scenario, right? And I am genuinely, because I used to think you're definitely going to get caught if you lie about your GCSEs.
Yeah.
Because I do remember at times telling the truth. I had a lot of jobs when I was younger. I remember at times telling the truth about my GCSEs, and purely because I didn't dare lie about them, because I thought, well, that's what I got. They'll find out. Obviously, they're going to ring somebody.
Yeah.
But are we saying that there isn't actually any, like, record? How would an employer check?
There must be a way to check, but I think, and it might just be because I don't work for real companies. Like, if you work for somewhere where they have like a heavy HR department and shit, like they might check. Right. But I think you're going for your average design agency like I am, like, and they ain't checking. Small businesses don't check. I wouldn't have thought. Like
even references. Do people check references? Like when you have to give a reference if you go for a job. Are people checking them?
I've got a list of references, like.
Yeah.
I have them on my CV, but I don't think anyone's ever contacted them.
No.
Ever.
Is the checking of a reference literally your, potential new employer calling your previc employer?
Yeah.
Is that literally how it's done?
Is this guy a divvy? Yeah.
That's all it is. I will say.
I think most places, if it went to like a HR representative, like if, say, when I used to work at Primark, if I used somebody from Primark as a reference, they'd get through to their HR and they would literally say, oh yeah, attendance was this, was that. There would be no like character reference, if you like. It would just kind of be like stats.
You see, it's weird that's the case with Primark, because I got one from Amazon, and this woman who's like quite high up in Amazon took a liking to me, and I got on really well with her. And then she promoted me to being like an instructor or something within like 3 weeks. So like when I left, I said, listen, I know I'm leaving, but like I'd really like a reference off yourself. I can see that you're obviously going to...
If you've got a personal relationship with somebody, I guess.
And then she was like, oh, here's my personal number, so... But one thing I will say, like I know you were saying our small businesses won't check. Like, that company that my dad works for, I'm not going to say that in this story. It's quite a big company.
Got a few employees.
Yeah, got a few. One of his best mates, will not mention his name, went for a job interview many years ago as a journalist. And he got this job off the fact that he got A-stars in everything. He had many years' experience in different jobs within this area of journalism. And then like 15 years later, it came out that he'd lied on every single bit of his.
Yeah.
But like he was so good at his job by that point, they were like, "Oh, he can't do anything."
Who cares? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's different if it's a government-owned body.
Yeah.
They probably try and be watertight with that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it reaches a level, like if you go so far up, like you said, the company or the type of, corporation or whatever they're called that's employing you. I guess if you go up so far, then I guess references and things like that are coming into play because they've got proper procedures in place for that. But then even then, if you were going for a job, let's say at one of these huge empires of companies, if your previous employer was some shithouse, like they're not going to be able to get the reference that they're looking for, right?
Potentially not.
Well, yeah, like I would never give a reference. I mean, I haven't actually got any bad relations with any former employers, but I would never take a reference off someone or like say, I'll put this on your CV if you've had a bad relationship with that former employer, would you?
Yeah. But also if I was going for like a, I don't know, head of production at Apple, and I just like, Dan. Imagine them getting through to you and be like, I sounded mate.
No. Mate,
You're a proper one, him, you know.
No. I would proper blag yous like I'd build yous right up. Listen, we wouldn't have survived without him. Like he's literally like he did everything. Like
Or it would go the other way and he'd be like, no, shite mate, don't hire him because he's fucking serious.
I know, yeah. Imagine you did that to somebody. Like
That'd
literally
be brutal, that, wouldn't it?
The thing is though, like you guys are different to me. I've never left a job that hasn't ended in a row.
Right.
Like, I've never left a job on a good term before.
Oh, right.
No, like
Nice.
never. Like
I
it's all,
don't think I think most of mine have been on good terms.
so have none of you ever been sacked?
No.
Huh.
I've never been sacked.
I've never not been sacked. That's the truth.
It's
Genuinely.
fucking rad, that, mate. Like, how would you be that much of... Because you're mint at what you do now.
Thank you.
And, like, how you've got yourself to a point where you've always been sacked. It's like...
Well, no, because you just
me.
strike me as somebody who needs to be an employer. Like, imagine trying to, be in a manager role and having to tell Dan what to do. Like, that, nah.
Yeah,
Do you know
It
what?
doesn't strike as something that would happen.
Do you know what? That wasn't actually the bit that got me. Like when I wasn't in, you have to think when I'm telling these stories. Like I didn't have jobs like yous, where like I would get a job and like do it for a few years, then go to another one. No. We're talking like weeks. Like all of my jobs were like weeks, maximum months. Like that's how it was. So between the age of 16 and like 25, I guess, when I started properly working for myself in that 9 years, I wouldn't be able to put an exact number on it, but it probably wouldn't be an exaggeration to say like 40 jobs, maybe. Some of them were like, I had some jobs that lasted a day. Like I had a few jobs that lasted one day. I had some jobs that didn't last a day.
Yeah, well,
like,
that's all right. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You know what I mean?
but
I'm
it was
assuming that in that thing, that is because it's not for you, and it's not like you turned up, just thought, I don't like this, and punched a guy, and then got sacked.
No.
know?
I could take instructions. I understood the hierarchical things. Like I was working as a kid, I did paper rounds, milk rounds. I understood the concept of, we come from a hard-working family. We're good stock. Everyone in my family is good workers.
Good grafters, yeah.
Good grafters. But so I understood somebody of, this person is paying me. He's this person in charge. That's what they're telling me to do. I do it. Yes, sir. 3 bags full, sir. Actually, to be fair, I actually tried to do it really well. I wanted to impress. So I'd always work really hard, really fast, but the same thing tripped me up. It was never my conduct per se. It was timekeeping and turning up on time. So I loved the day off and I was late for everything. Like without fail. I could be late twice in a day. How'd you work that out? Because I would be late to get there, then go out on my lunch and be late back from lunch.
Nice.
So it was the same thing. I've been sacked from every job, but the same thing got me sacked every time.
I love that.
Lateness, always.
That's mental.
Never on time. I blame, I mean, my mum could probably think of this. I think I was born late, so I'm putting it down to that. I was like...
fault.
Yeah, I think I just started off on the wrong foot.
Yeah. Always behind.
But you are right in what you said. I was a terrible employee.
Yeah.
Terrible. Horrendous.
I like the lateness thing has a rub-on effect in a dash because, like Ain't many people starting at 9 these days.
No.
you know?
Yeah,
no.
It all sort of follows through, doesn't it?
Do you know what? Like, it's pretty much, you know, if you can see now, I'm not big on like enforcing what time people start work.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen it that way. I've always seen it as like, and I genuinely believe it. I genuinely believe like we've got a job to do. So like, as long as you get your job done, then
Who
like,
gives a fuck?
just come and go whenever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do like that.
I like
That's
that.
One of the things I like about working with you guys, to be fair.
Like,
But bringing it back around to the whole employer and hiring side of things, have you ever, because you're an employer, have you ever called one of these references, even just for the crack?
no.
Never.
Never, ever, ever. No.
I feel like that's something that I would definitely do.
Some people probably
what,
would.
what do you mean, like somebody?
So
that you
like a
work with in the-
kid came in, had a strong interview.
Oh, right.
It's called Southpaw. Like got everything right, small but like quick, smart as a fucking carrot.
okay, yeah.
Anyway, like I came in, thought, yeah, I want him. But just to double check, I'm going to call a reference. I would do that.
Man, I didn't even get an interview with these guys.
Didn't we? How did it work?
No, I sent a CV thing, and then Reese was like basically on the phone, just like, "All right, mate, when do you want to start?"
Just like that.
Just boosh, easy, yeah.
That's what you
Beautiful.
want, right?
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I was shocked.
No, I think for the most part you can tell, can't you? Like, you can just tell. I mean, with your thing, Johnny, I guess it's different because, like, you would be employed on like the quality of work that you do.
Yeah,
because it's like.
I mean, I had a fucking mint portfolio, so that probably
That's-
helped. That one.
that's what I'm
half the
saying.
distance. Yeah.
So like, I think I can like half remember a little bit. It was that long ago now. Like,
Yeah.
I think I can half remember being shown what you'd done.
I had like the gate in Newcastle, and I think Reese was like, "Don't even care about Johnny. I want the gate."
Yeah, love bars.
Yeah.
yeah. But no, but the way Southpaw was employed, I knew about Southpaw a long time before he came through the door.
Yeah.
Long time. Reese used to talk about this. He called him, obviously, you were then. He said, there's this kid, right? And he talked about him for like the best part of 6 months, I felt like. And he said, and he used to always say, mate, this kid, I know this kid. Like, and he'd tell me where he works. And me and Hannah see her, and he would make him out to be, so I can just tell. I can just see it in him. He's just got summit.
Yeah.
Like, don't know what it is, but there's summit in this kid. He said his confidence, his mental. Reese used to say he's a salesman. Like, that is a salesman. I can smell it a mile
Oh, yeah.
off.
Well, you both said it for years, to be fair. Yeah.
And
I used to sell Reese a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
Tell me that. I used to like sell it. My bosses loved me when Reese came in because I would get Reese on like 150 to 200 pound bill within an hour. It was unheard of. Nobody ever could do that. But I managed to and like Hannah loved me, and like my job at that moment was to sell as much alcohol and provide a really premium service at Salty where I was working.
Yeah. It's like
And I did
selling
that.
carrots to rabbits, so they just
I was gonna say.
Oh, it was fucking. It was easy, but
Not a hard sell,
It
that,
was
like.
easy, but like I got Reese to the point where he would walk in, and I would, 2 double Hendrix, sliced cucumber, and a slimline tonic for both of them would be sat there. To follow would be some espresso martinis for both of them after they'd had like 2 or 3 sips, and like within, oh mate, it was mental. But yeah, go on.
I wasn't on him.
You were on it about when I came in.
He wanted you to talk about how great he was. When
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
just
performing.
continue. Yeah, it was going well. I enjoyed that.
No, I will say, so I knew about him for a long time before he walked in our office. And I honestly never ever thought when I was hearing the stories that he would ever work for us. It was just a story of this. I've met a few in my life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know a few people if I go back through my life and like, I just think, they had some like je ne sais quoi. Do you know what I mean? There was just something about them, but now, you lose contact with them. It is what it is. So I never at any moment thought one day I'd work with this superstar kid that Reese talked about. And one day I get brought into his office and there was this little dude stood there. And I obviously thought to myself, listen, right, I'm in the dominant position here, right? This is my business, right? I look like the Mac Daddy. I got a face full of Botox, covered in gold. I've been on the sunbed. Get out my way. Do you know what I mean? I remember walking in the office and I tried to outconfidence him. And he put me in a box on meeting me because his confidence was too much. And I remember walking back out being like, whoa.
No. I remember our first ever interaction, mate, because I remember this Adonis walking into the office.
I tried to.
This was me
like, you know what I
coming
mean?
in to film a video, bear in mind. That's all Reese wanted me to do. But then he threw me in a full-blown interview with the beautiful Leah. And I was like, oh, shit, here we go. Anyway, one thing led to another. Daniel steps in halfway through this interview and he goes, all right, mate. I'm like, I didn't even. I can't remember your exact words. I think, "Oh, how you doing?" Or something
be all,
suave,
like, chest
something
out.
pretty suave.
All right,
Chest,
mate.
chest was out. He'd just done 20 press ups, and then he walks through the door. And then he just walked through the door.
Yeah, literally.
He's like, "Do you want a Red Bull?" Like, I was like,
Just outside the door, around the corner.
straight away,
Yeah, for walks in.
straight away. He's like, "Do you want a Red Bull? Water, some mate?" And I thought Dan was like the. I didn't realise at that point Dan was the owner of the business. So I thought he was like one of the top boys there, but like not the owner. And then ever since, it was just like sound. And then I think it was like a month later I realised that you were my boss. Like, I didn't even know you were my boss. And then like one time,
I don't give that vibe,
One
like.
time we were outside like having a cig. That was when we both smoked.
Oh, good
And they
times.
were the days. They were the days outside having a cig. And like Daniel would chain smoke 3 or 4 in one fucking.
Like half the office
I'm like
smoking.
I'm going through a tiny rollie. Dan's done like 3 cigarettes. I'm like, oh fucking. He's like, do you want one? I'm like, nah. But like, and then.
That's what it was like.
But yeah, and then one time you're like, oh yeah, like I don't know how it came to conversation, but you're like, yeah, like director or something. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, you didn't ever give off that vibe that you.
No.
That's actually a compliment, I'd say though, that you don't come across that way, but you obviously do a lot behind the scenes.
No one wants. I can't think of anything worse than being a boss. I hate that, me.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because I've hated all of my bosses.
You
Like,
just know that everybody
that's
hates you.
that's where it comes from. Clearly, like you've hated this domineering side of things, and that's not you.
Got no interest in that, mate.
No.
No, mate. Like, to be a boss, what you are basically saying is, I know better than you. That's basically what it takes. You've got to have a mentality of, I know more. Listen, what I think is got a lot more value than what you think. And I'm sorry, I don't rate myself that highly. In actual fact, like, I should be the least in the pecking order, in my opinion. Like, I don't know fuck all. Like, I got sacked from every single job. So what fucking position am I in to tell people how to do a job?
It's
Like,
because you did it. Because you took the risk and set up the business, though, innit? You know.
Yeah.
so I fucking...
I don't want to be the one on a Friday night still trying to make sales calls because no one
No,
to
I
bring some
suppose.
money in.
No, I suppose. But no, mate, got no interest in bossing. But I will say, yeah, Southpaw, he was what, not blowing smoke at your ass, like, I still think you're an idiot sometimes, but he was what Reece said.
It was.
He
was what Reece said. And yeah, he's a confident man. Still to this day, he still has confidence as me. I've got a foot on him, 15 years experience, he still has confidence as me. Still makes me feel small.
It's a good front, isn't it?
Yeah, it works,
Yeah.
mate. Literally.
Small man
it's-
energy just emanating, you know.
Yeah. Honestly, when you're this small, you have to bring some at the table. You know what I mean?
Right,
You do,
like,
mate. He's compensating.
You do.
Yeah.
From a young age, I learned that. Like, oh, I'm small. I'm not going to grow anymore. I need to do something here. And then
big personality.
big personality. We go. Let's give it some.
Yeah.
Yeah, but bosses, it's interesting, that whole dynamic, isn't it?
Would you two want to be bosses?
I don't know if I could be asked.
No.
I think one day, yeah. I
Yeah.
would like to be a boss one day, but
Would you?
not in like the way you were saying. I wouldn't want to be all domineering. Like, I'd want to be all pally boss, but then I'd also want to make sure I'm getting the best out of everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My thing with it, like my mum used to have her own business, and like we would.
What
like,
was it doing?
It was a care home.
She ran a care
Looking
home.
after elderly people with like learning difficulties and stuff. Yeah, it was a pretty good little thing she was doing. But she would we would go on like family holidays. So like we would go for like a weekend from St. Louis somewhere, and then like midway through she'd get a call saying, "Oh, such and such is coming sick. Like we've got nobody to fill in the position." And like she's literally like, we had to come home early from holidays because like
Really?
like because people like if you like relying on other members of staff like. And it'll be the same for you. Like, you can't take a full-on holiday and just absolutely fuck it all off. Like, no. Like, and I'd say, I'd want that for myself. Like, you know, I want to be able to come home at 5 and fuck it clean off, not think about it.
The mistake I've made, me and Reece have talked about this. I mean, I'm sure the viewers don't really want to hear this, but I've obviously set up this business. But where I've gone wrong is, and me and Reece both clicked this, we've set a business up around what we do. So, like, to be the boss and have like the dream of the boss, you don't really play a big part in the business. That's sort of how it should be done, because then you're just more of an overseer.
Yeah,
that's the good life.
If you're an integral key in the cog in the machine, you're like,
Yeah.
Like
No,
you
but it's a
think
dangerous game,
we've got
innit?
a sales company up where 95% of the revenue comes from the two directors.
But then
Like-
again,
like that's not a good idea. Like,
but then again, like that day will come, I believe, where
Maybe.
hopefully you can step away a little bit, and that's what you're building, and that's what any business tries to build.
yeah,
So it's that's the dream, and that's why I've set it up.
yeah.
Hopefully one day you can put your feet up, mate.
I actually think Southpaw would make a really good boss. I actually think you actually would because of your personality. I think you've got one of them. Everybody likes him. You know what I mean? It's impossible to not like him. He's what's the word? Is there a word for that? He's not likable.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate all this smoke. It's going well.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. But yeah, so employment's never been a big thing for me. Never.
No.
Are we rolling Southpaw?
Yeah, we are. I mean, yeah.
We're
like halfway through, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes in it, yeah, we are rolling.
Well, it's part of the thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We are rolling, Danielle.
You know what I mean?
I'd like to get one of them episodes where it's like we're literally like at the hour mark and then he's like, "Are we rolling?"
I think we have done it before and missed it completely, right?
Yeah, we've done that.
I'd like to think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Stop. Hold up. Before we carry on, just a quick word from our sponsor. Do you have a business? Thinking about starting one? Dash, the bespoke web design and branding experts. When you have a business that needs a professional online presence, when your current website is starting to look a little outdated and tired, when you have an idea and want to see it brought to life online, that's where Dash can help. Dash create bespoke websites built around your business and its requirements, from exceptional e-commerce stores to sell your products online, to beautiful brochures showcasing who you are and what you do. The team at Dash will become an extension of your business. You'll be assigned a dedicated team who will help guide and advise from the initial design brief all the way to the website launch. Not only that, Dash provide full aftercare to carry out any changes, alterations or updates quickly and efficiently. It's like having your very own personal web development team 365 days a year. Dash understands that in today's world, the right online image, exposure and representation is the key to success. Book in a free, no obligation consultation with one of their experts today to see how Dash can make your online vision an online reality. Just visit www.dashmedia.co.uk or search Dash Media on Google to find out more. Dash, the bespoke website and branding experts. Yeah, if you could be the boss, right, of any type of company, what would it be?
Well, it would have to be a design agency. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, that's so boring. No, I'd like to be. I'd like to be the boss of a pirate ship.
Pirate ship?
Yeah, mate. Somalian pirates. That's where
Right.
I'm at, mate.
No way.
Yeah, mate.
Full-blown
Obviously, I'd
modern
stand
day
out
pirates.
a bit. You know what I mean? I'd stand out a bit.
Yeah,
I wouldn't,
I could see it.
I wouldn't fit in.
Look at me. I am the captain now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I would like to do actually? Laser tag.
Wow.
That would be a fucking cool business, wouldn't it?
So run your own laser tag.
Run a laser tag, yeah.
Imagine.
And then you do like quarterly themes. So
Yeah.
do like a Star Wars theme, then like move it on and be like, all right, we're gonna do a fucking Call of Duty theme.
Yeah,
Move it on like, oh man, it'd be beast.
Yeah.
Just kit it out. If you've got a movie release coming up, like do a fucking Batman theme going and like, it would just be the gift that keeps on giving, wouldn't it?
So what are we talking about? Laser quest.
Laser tag, and then you could have a little calf out front, do some mean milkshakes and a hot dog or whatever afterwards. It'd be fucking sound, wouldn't it?
It would, like.
Yeah.
It would. Is there a lot of laser? We don't have a laser
There's
tag.
not a lot of laser tags these days, and that's why I feel like it's like a little.
They've went downhill, I think.
Yeah.
But why though? Because it didn't get shit. It's always fun.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think there was that craze around like 10, 15 years ago when I was growing up and it was like, yeah, we're going laser tag this weekend. Like birthday parties were big on it. And for some reason that's just died a little bit, hasn't it? I think for me, like the aspect of laser tag isn't quite as intense as paintballing.
I think that's probably what's done it. Because the airsoft thing, that's the other big one, isn't it? It's a similar thing to paintball where
I have no idea what airsoft is.
it's like a they're like little pellets, aren't they? It's
Yeah.
effectively like paintball, but just I think the paint.
Just balling.
Yeah.
I've never been paintballing.
No, I haven't. I'd quite like to. I think it'd be a fun time.
I've heard it hurts.
Yeah, but
It's airsoft.
What are we looking at?
Airsoft experience.
Yeah. There's a few things that have like fizzled out.
It's like warfare. It genuinely is like warfare.
So you're literally outside in the fields.
You're
and shit.
outside in the fields, and these guns are filled with little pellets, similar to paintballing.
Question: why have you got backpacks on?
Because lots of them treat it as though it's military.
yeah, like people get serious. Like that's their own kit. Like
Yeah, like lots
like
of
if you go to laser tag, they'll give you a vest with like a little target thing on.
Yeah.
Like you go to that, they've already got their own like ghillie suits and shit like that. Like they're going in with camo.
Well,
yeah.
it sounds like I'd be really bad at it then, because these are obviously like bang into
They've
it.
got that like
I've seen
not
these.
military training, but they'll have a head around how it all works.
Yeah, I've seen these go so far. Like you said, the ghillie suits, Johnny. I've seen like snipers in ghillie suits They've got a little pistol attached to the hip.
Yeah.
Like they'll pull the pistol out if they're in the trees or if they're close combat. Like they've got the sniper when they're in, I don't know, when they're in their own little ghillie in the fucking grass.
Question: are these, you know, these people here are taking it like really serious? Are these in the military? These people?
No,
Some of them might do it for like, you know, funsies maybe if they are in the military, but I don't think so. I don't think they're necessarily military equipped.
Well, like I feel like saying like, well, why didn't you go in the military then? Because like that's kind of
Death.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's
Death would probably be the big one.
You got a pellet or death.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, have you ever been? You've never been paintballing, either of you?
No.
never.
I've been paintballing a few times, and like, the only thing is you get a bit of blue on blue there.
What is blue on
Blue
blue?
on
Blue on blue is like, it's an awful phrase actually in the military because that's when
I know what it means.
that's when a sort of it would be a death upon a fellow colleague. So you've shot your own teammate by accident. You've shot your own teammate by accident. So that's what they say, blue on blue. But there's a lot of blue on blue when you're youngin' and you go and play paintballing with your mates. It's to the extent that one of my best mates, Aaron, we went paintballing and like we were sneaking around trying to capture the flag, and like Aaron just puts two straight up my ass, like just like clean up my asshole. Like honestly, it's one of the worst pains. And I'm like, bear in mind that I was smaller then, and pain was more accessible then, and yeah, that was really. No. I mean, even then, close. If you're like even 10 meters away, it's very painful. But if you've got a paintball gun that can travel up to like 200 miles an hour, these paintballs
gonna
hurt,
like
knack, mate.
I honestly don't think I could stop myself. So hang on, right? It's just a tough one, isn't it? So you've given me this thing here, right? And I'm stood with all these people, like, I'm not like, I just think, right, school shooting time.
Right, yeah. You're just like hid behind a tree and Southpaw just went past you and he's just crouched down behind a bush just round the corner there and he's just like, even though he's on my team, he's like, have to do this. I have to do this.
I tell you who would be a fucking awful person to go paintballing with. We had him on the other week, Johnny. You haven't edited this episode yet, but shout out to Stephen Robinson, boxer.
Steve Robinson, man.
And he's the king of kegging for all his mates. Honestly, he's the king. Like he's renowned for it. He'll keg all his mates.
No. Wait to hear the story.
I thought something happened.
No. When you edit this episode, you will laugh your head off because there's many experiences where he'll be eyeing you up, mate, from the second he sees you. What sort of pants you wearing? Are they accessible? Have you got a belt on? Like he'll eye you all up, mate.
Oh, I know.
It's like it's planned. It's what
so much so that when we were taking the picture, I had hold of my trousers.
Yeah, like after
I
the
was
conversation.
convinced.
Yeah.
I mean, if Steve Robinson kegs you and you get angry, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're doing
like
fuck all.
you ain't doing nothing, mate.
But my point was, like, if you go fucking play paintball with this guy, like, he's just he's gonna absolutely rinse your back.
You're getting kegged then shot, basically. You're getting paintballs on your bare
keg you,
bum.
then he'd shoot your ass.
Literally, yeah.
But I have been paintballing, and there's this thing, and they call it a birthday run. Now I went once for my birthday.
I've heard of this.
These birthday runs, you've literally got to run through open fire from everyone, all these people on your birthday party, and they've just got to fucking pelt the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Like you've got a safe zone, and you've got to get from A to B. And within that A to B range, they've just got they're just free reign, just go mental on you, and people normally buy extra pellets for this particular segment.
Expensive under the pellets.
Well, that's it. They get you in. They're like, oh, come paintball. It's only 20 quid. But then you go there, like 100 pellets is like tenner. So, and when I went, last time I went, I had a bit of coin in my pocket. So I was like, yeah, all right, I'm going to get 50 quid worth of pellets. And then you soon, you like fire, and you can easily go through 500 in one game.
Really?
Yeah. So it adds up if you're not tactical,
conservative,
and then there's like, it's not just that. You can go and buy smoke grenades. You can go and buy. There's a paintball grenade that I bought once, and I put it in this where like three enemy the opposition were hiding in this little fucking
Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, they were just hiding in this little cabin, and you just fucking throw the frag in, and it just boom, like explodes, and there's like paintballs in every direction firing at 300 miles an hour, and like, whoo.
Is it outside, right? You're in the woods.
You're in the woods a lot of the time. All these paintballing places are excellent. Like it's set up like World at War, Call of Duty. You know what I mean? And
Hey, like that would be a good thing. Do you know, like I mean, look, I'm imagining it, but like, imagine you had like an old warehouse, like imagine you could make like, obviously the woods is one thing, but like you could make like, what's that video game called where like there's like zombies and you're shooting them?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Couldn't you make like a paintball Call of Duty?
Yeah, I think
Well, that's what I'm on about for my laser tag. Yeah, 100%. Just you won't get shot in the arse.
Yeah. Laser tag doesn't hurt as much, does it?
No.
I think places have done that.
Have I?
Yeah, definitely. It's Call of Duty themed one. But going back to what I would have as a business, if I was going to be a boss,
Yeah.
I would be the boss of a quesadilla joint, and I would serve quesadillas and margaritas. That's all I'd serve. There'd be 2 things on the menu. There'd be quesadillas and margaritas.
What's quesadilla?
You know what a quesadilla
I was
is,
hoping he was
right?
going to bring up a photo and I'd be like, oh yeah, I know what a quesadilla
Sounds like it's got
is.
cheese in it.
What is
cheese.
it? It's a Mexican, like,
They're very
toasty, isn't it?
they're very easy to
Am I
make,
right?
and you could do them at a really high quality. Here they are.
Quesadilla.
Quesadilla. Oh, that's kind of right.
Right.
So I'd do like a beef one, I'd do a chicken one, and I'd do a beef brisket one. And you'd only serve 3, and I'd probably have to do a vegan one in this day and age,
Right.
just to cater for everyone. But yeah, you'd serve them margaritas, and that's it.
One thing, do it
'Cause
really well.
I know how to do
Yeah.
margaritas already. Patron is your liqueur. Then you do fresh lime juice, and you do a very small hint of sugar.
Right.
Very easy to make.
So where would this quesadilla joint be? Would it
Probably
be-
within a city.
Okay.
Yeah, within a city.
You could just do a van though, couldn't you?
You could do a
Okay.
van, but then you need somewhere for people to get drunk. So that's why it'd be like in a city, in a little
Okay,
bar.
yeah.
It'd be
Right.
like a margarita joint, but you want the quesadillas as well.
Yeah.
Mix the two
like
together. You've got a concoction for madness.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you could see it. Is the quesadilla joints now?
What inspired me was Salty, where I used to work. The employers there, that was their original idea. But then lockdown hit, and they had to change things.
You ever seen that film Chef? You know, with John Favreau.
I haven't seen it. No.
Oh, they have like they're doing what they're called cheese, like
Toasties.
effectively toasties. Yeah, what's the American term for that?
Melts.
Yeah, fuck it, yeah, cheese melt things. Like basically, they've got this sandwich van and they're just going around America and like they've got the kid like TikToking it or whatever and like building the modes of rep as they're going around. Like, mate, these sandwiches look unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, there is something in that, isn't there? Like a bit of like psychology. Like obviously, you get restaurants, right, or like food joints, doesn't matter what. When they sell like lots of different stuff, like they're not specialising in anything.
Yeah.
But like we had a company in Darlington called Salt. And it was like about their burgers. Like I actually do think there's something in that. Like whether you're actually really good at them or just out, I think you have to be like okay or above. You can't be crap or it's not going to work. But if you're just okay at making something, if you make a whole business around it, right? Like, and your social media is absolutely popping because it's got to be like social media. You've got to have that banging. You could pretty much like carve out / blag a lot of success. Certainly in a short term, because it'll just, all it takes is for someone to catch on.
Yeah.
Like, imagine, like, there's nothing more unexotic than a sausage roll, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So let's imagine I just made this big hype that, like, Dan's sausage rolls are, like, no.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Dan's sausage rolls. You get a few people talking about it. You know, you pay an influencer, blah, 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 blah. Before you know it, you got a queue around the block and you just bang average of sausage rolls. Do you know what I mean? Like, the truth is, Greg's are better. But Greg's ain't doing that.
Yeah, but if you're doing it every day forever, like you're gonna get better at making these sausage rolls. Eventually, them sausage rolls are gonna be the fucking thing.
You think?
I think so. Hell yeah.
100%.
Yeah. We talked about it with like the takeaways and stuff. Like I've got an Indian takeaway near mine that also does pizzas. You don't want to get them fucking pizzas made. No. Have a lane and stick to your fucking lane.
That's what I mean.
That's it. If you go to a place and it had one thing on a menu, that's intrigue right there, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Isn't it just?
Yeah. It literally
I was watching
does.
This, like, there was this marketing guy who's on about opening up a bacon sandwich shop. He said, like, I'd sell one thing on the menu, bacon sandwich. You can have it with red or brown sauce. And then drinks-wise, you could have a builder's tea or you can have a glass of champagne. And that would be my business.
It's a champagne or a tea.
Like, imagine the intrigue that this thing like that would build, and people would be like, fuck yeah, I want a slice of this.
Yeah. I'm not just like imagining that, right? There is a thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you just focus on one thing.
I think so, yeah.
100%.
No, I
Like
think-
this restaurant I went to the other night, like they only did like 5 mains.
If you can carry your business off the back of one thing, people are going to know that one thing slaps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Do you know? I mean, you couldn't do it now, but like, because it's just the big place have taken over. But like, it'd be nice to have a coffee shop, wouldn't it? Or like sell coffee. Just that, I love that. Like, coffee is just. You know when you go in a cafe, the smell of a cafe. Do you get that as well?
Yeah.
Like the smell of a cafe. There's something comforting about that. Even though technically it's coffee, which makes you wired, but like the clink of the cups. You know,
It's so lucrative as well. You know, coffee.
Yeah.
Like you can buy this stuff in, and once you churn it out for even £3.50, the up margin on that you're talking like £1.50, £2 per cup.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Up margin's massive. You sell 10 cups, there's £20. Boom, profit.
what do you think? Just off the top of your head, right? You got 10 seconds to think about it. What would you call your quesadilla shop? Go. Tick, tock, tick, tock.
Casey Margs.
Casey Margs.
That's interesting.
Casey Margs.
Where did that come from?
Sounds
like
a girl's name.
Because that's what he sells.
Casey
yeah.
Margs.
Yeah, everyone would be asking who Casey
But
is.
like it wouldn't be spelt like quesadilla, it'd be spelt like the name Casey.
Yeah.
Casey Margs. That's it, 10 seconds. He didn't give us long, but like Casey Margs. Margaritas and quesadillas, that's it. Casey Margs.
Johnny, what would you call your laser tag?
Oh, fuck, I don't know. I was thinking before when you'd asked him about that. Fucking laser fucking death.
Laser death.
Laser death.
I want to go there. Like,
Yeah, everyone wants to go to laser death.
Laser death.
Have it, yeah.
Yeah. What did I say that my business would be?
your business would be Somalian pirates.
You can have a gang name.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, do you know?
the thing that you don't want when you're a Somalian pirate is a brand, really.
No. Yeah, I think I'd just have to be unbranded.
Yeah.
I think I'd just be a sign like Prince.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
You can't really advertise that, man.
Captain Dan's.
Yeah, Captain Dan's. Yeah, mate, being a Somalian pirate's fucking brilliant, man. Like,
It's not all, mate.
I don't
These
think it's what it's
Somalians-
cracked up to be.
No,
Dan.
they're forced into a world of robbery and stealing due to the poverty of their nation and area, and there's
And
no.
this is why
when
I
you
would
watch
succeed.
Captain Phillips, were you like, that's the life right there?
Yeah. You see, the thing is, you are right, Southpaw. Them horrible things you've just said. Say them again. Why Somalian? They're forced into it.
Lots of them are forced into it through poverty. Their areas are sort of run by the wrong people. The government aren't involved, and actually they've got to bring in some money for their family, and that's
So-
the only way that they can do it.
Imagine that Dan's Pirates has a good pension scheme. There's good commission.
Yeah.
There is, they're not forced. Health and safety's high.
How the fuck you doing?
Good interview
How you
process. You
enforcing
can
health
check
and
the
safety?
references and that.
Mate, you're
Everything.
taking AK-47s
Yeah.
on these ships.
And this
health
is why,
and safety is good though.
And this is why mine would succeed. Because I'm going into it's an untapped thing.
Yeah.
The only thing in the Somalian pirates thing is it's like bad, right? All cracked out the mind and all sorts. So imagine one came along that was like Butlins on the sea.
Had a HR department.
Had a HR department, everything. Yeah. So see, Casa Mags, what was it called?
Casey Margs.
Casey Mags and Laser Death.
Laser death.
You're going into a very competitive market, right? You're not really doing anything different to anybody else, right?
Yeah.
Whereas me, I've got a whole new idea. Do you know what I mean? I'm going into a market, but I know how I'm going to excel.
Yeah.
And I'm going to excel. It's going to be wonderful, mate.
Yeah, but you're going into a market that's heavily policed, and you're eventually going to be shut down
That's it.
Oh,
That's it.
shot.
or die. Yeah.
No, mate. We'll be like friendly pirates. We'll be like friendly. We'll just like say please and
Like
thank
Captain
you.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah,
He's a crook, but we kind of love him though. Isn't he great?
Yeah.
Good crack.
Yeah, it'd be good. No, I'm telling you, mate. Somalian pirates. That's the way forward.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
I'll just shut this down.
I hate to say it, I can't see it happening.
You don't think you'll catch on?
Like, you know what? Like, you just got to try these things, don't you?
Well, listen, I'll remember this when Casa Mags and Laser Death doesn't work out and you're knocking on my door for an interview
Yeah.
or on my boat on the side of the boat and I look down and you'd be like,
No one's doing laser tag
no
these
one's
days,
now.
Daniel. Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Now you just want to be on the
Yeah.
boat, you know?
Yeah.
You've heard about the commission structure. Yeah. No, it's good. We were funny about tapping on this, but we will mention it. So we watched the podcast, didn't we, with, I guess not a lot of people, you know, the people we don't want to know about this won't know about who this is. And ma'am, if you're listening, do not Google this. So,
Bonnie Blue.
Bonnie Blue, yeah.
Well, I actually didn't watch this podcast.
No, I did.
No, but you know the crack.
I know the crack,
You
mate.
know
yeah.
the crack.
Yeah, I did. So we know the crack. So
Yeah. This last slept with 1,000 men in a day.
Is that what it was? 1,000 men in one day.
I believe.
Was it Bonnie Blue or there's that other one, Lily Phillips, isn't there? There's two of them
No,
doing
it was
it.
Bonnie Blue. I listened to the podcast this morning.
Right, so she actually slept with 1,000 men in one day.
She certainly did.
Yeah.
So the way it was described, because obviously all I'd heard up until this point, I've heard the name before. Obviously, I'd never watched any other content. Obviously. So I'd heard a name and I'd heard that line. She slept with 1,000 men in one day.
Yeah. It's fucked
And
up, innit?
totally unexpected. I'm a big fan of the podcast that we listen to.
Yeah.
And the latest episode was out this week. So I was like, great, I'm going to listen to it this morning. And she was a guest.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. At first, I didn't even know
No,
who
it
it was.
wasn't even named on the podcast itself. I'd be shouting that, like, you know.
Really strange, really strange. All of a sudden, our guest's here, and there was an English accent. I thought, I recognise it, like that. It's an English person.
Yeah.
And looking, it just seemed like a blonde girl. I didn't know who she was. And then I heard the name, and I was like, no way. Like, that's got you on like one of the biggest podcasts in the world. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, who's laughing now, sort of thing. You know?
It's crazy.
Yeah, and she sort of described what happened. They rented a house, like a 3-story house,
Yeah.
off like Lord Tumbleweed or whatever his
It
name
was Airbnb. I heard about the story, but go on.
Oh, it was Lord Davenport.
Lord
that was the name,
Davenport.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
What a fucking name.
they rented it off Lord Davenport, this 3-story house.
Yeah.
And basically, from what I can gather, like these 1,000 people were in this house, like queuing up the
queued
stairs.
up.
She was saying, obviously, some people like were there all day.
Yeah.
And like she was saying, like they brought packed lunches and stuff. And like she said, it was
Just
like
a snack for the queue.
yeah, like I think somebody was like capturing content as it was.
You got to be fueled up as you're waiting, I guess. don't you?
Basically,
You know what I mean?
yeah. So there was like this one guy. She talks about Joseph. That like there was a guy called Joseph that was there, and he brought his mum, and his mum was waiting for him. You know, like
Oh, no.
that's what was it like?
You just sat in the car park waiting for him to be done. Like,
Yeah.
any minute now.
No, she was saying like she was like knocking on the door saying, "Joseph, get your coat," and stuff like this, and like it's time to go, and then
Oh, my God.
so like
That's off it.
I mean, just to give you an idea, right? I've just done 1,000 divided by 24. There's 24 hours in one day, right?
they've
Yeah.
got 40 seconds each.
So yeah, there's that means that she's having to sleep with 42 people. It's 41.6. So let's just say 42 people every hour.
Yeah. I mean, you were like, I think the way she was describing it, like, it ain't like one at a time. There's like a group of people around her, I
Right.
think. So, like, you go in, I've got no chance.
I'm
I've got absolutely no chance.
Listen, I don't know everyone's situation, but I can't imagine everybody's like all the way throughing, surely.
Yeah, how are you going to do that in 40 seconds?
Because I genuinely don't. Number one, mine wouldn't work because of the pressure.
pressure, yeah.
Obviously, but okay, in an imaginary world, it did work. I ain't jumping in like in 40 seconds been finished. I don't think so.
No.
But is it like, does it just count then if they just slip in, slip out? Is that one?
I assume so.
Yeah.
What did she say on the pod? What was her experience of it?
Do you know what? Right, like to be fair, she was quite like matter of fact about it. Like,
just look, this is the thing I did. There's not an ounce of like shame, like, or like, oh, I can't believe, like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Like, she's full on just like, yeah, that's the thing I did.
Like it seems to me that it's like a family operation. Like a sister works with her and stuff,
Yeah.
and like she asked about, Bobby asked about what's Christmas like at your house, like with your mum and dad, and like, she was like, listen, she said my mum and dad are totally supportive of it. Like,
Yeah.
and she said when we were little, like my dad had to work 2 jobs and he'd miss birthdays and stuff because he was always at work. Now he doesn't have to go to work. He's super proud of me. Like, I guess so. Like question. Like, I mean, like none of us here are fathers, so I guess we're literally the worst people in the world to have this conversation. But like, would you be supportive? Like, she's 27, I think she said she was.
Yeah.
You got a 27-year-old daughter, and this is what she does for a living. Where do you stand?
I think there comes to a point where you just got to be like, look, fair play to you. If that's what you want to do with your life, like.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go down the pub, though. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be absolutely rinsed.
Like, obviously, put yourself in the shoes of her dad, right? So her dad is like, I would gather, like a normal bloke. Do you know what I mean? By the sounds of it, like he was working 2 jobs, blah, 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 when he was younger to make ends meet. Lives in Nottingham or Derby or wherever it is, like literally like proper British working class place. Like he's got friends, he's got ex-colleagues.
Go down to the pub and play around the darts with the fellas, and they're all just like, yeah.
Saw your daughter last night.
I was 400th in the queue, mate. It was good, that.
I think you just have to. The only way it's going to work, right, is if you can be light-hearted about it. It's the only way you can do it. You've got to be able to laugh it off as well.
Oh, you have to.
If you're offended and you end up, what are you saying about my daughter? Like, it ain't going to work out.
You reckon
for you.
out of them 1,000 people that they were all complete strangers to her as well? Like, you imagine if it was like some fucking dork who used to sit in the corner in your maths class, and then all of a sudden you know.
So apparently,
getting filled by him. Like, what the fuck?
She didn't know. Like, obviously, it was like anonymous that people could just turn up. So she did say, many people were wearing like masks, like to cover their identity.
Yeah.
It was getting filmed. And she was saying, because like some of these people will have had wives and girlfriends, and they were just, they were just having a look out with the mates for the day. It was just, let's go down and do this. Do you know what I mean?
Tag this person, yeah.
Yeah. Very, very
We're
weird.
not going fucking laser death. We're going to see Bonnie Bear. Fucking hell.
I know. So would you do it, Southpaw?
Nah,
No.
I couldn't be involved in that. That's
Okay,
like
another scenario. None of you had girlfriends, right?
Uh-huh.
So let's just imagine, let's just be serious, you haven't got a girlfriend. You're purely single man. And your mate, so picture one of your good mates right now, messages you at night and says, listen, next week there's this thing, right? You were single, right? So it's not thingy. It's single. Listen, there's this thing next week, right? It's next Saturday. Like, it's like this historic thing. They're going to like, and it's pervy as well. Like,
yeah.
Let's go down. What are you saying?
Nah, honestly, mate, I just know that's a scenario where it would be they'd have to go out and find another. They'd have like 1,000 people in the queue. They'd have to go out and find 1,001 because one guy couldn't do it.
No,
it would be me. Obviously, stood there with a little flop on, and they'd be like, she'd be like, dude, I'm trying to break a world record here. What the fuck are you doing? And I'm just like, it's not working. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of stuff. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of stuff. I made eye contact with that bloke over there. He licked his lips. I don't know what to do.
He had a mask on.
Yeah. No.
Why did he wear a Dobby the house elf mask? It's just...
You know what? Like, I admit, yeah, like, I'd love to be able to say I would be able to do it, but like, even with the best one in the world, like, hand cards on the table, like, I could. Do you know what? Right? Okay, let me picture a scenario where I could. Right? Okay, if you could go in the room on your own, right, and you had like 10 minutes, and like that person was going to help, maybe, but I don't think it's like that. Like you're right. You saying there's other people there and stuff like that as well, like watching. Like, I've got there's a cameraman.
I feel like I need
kick-off.
like a warm up room beforehand.
Yeah.
Like somebody else just gives you a quick.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Like a marine. Go. Just jump. No, I think it'd be very difficult.
I hope nobody I know watches this one.
Yeah. No one does, don't worry. That's the beauty of our podcast. We say what we want.
Yeah.
Because there's only me, man, watching. Do you know? Again, man, don't Google this. What you saying, Southpaw? You think you could pull it off?
I honestly, again, like, I just don't think I could ever be in that scenario. Like, I think it's just such a weird thing to happen. Even like, you've got to think the logistics of it. To have a 40-second gap for each person, like, you're going to be slowly warming up as you going along.
Do you think like is somebody enforcing that? Like is she herself being like, all right, 40 seconds up, you're done, bye. And then you're like,
I assume there's like an orchestrator, like some dude there or lady, whatever, like.
Tapping your arse,
organising shit. Like, come on, like da.
Your turn, go on.
But like you say, yeah, was there a process like, okay, you come up the stairs, you're in the queue, right? Like, there's now like two, like you're second from the front, right? This guy, like, is there like a warm up person? Like, that would make sense, right?
Like a logistic side of things, it would make sense to. Oh my god, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but it would make sense to have a scenario in the room before where you could probably have a TV watching what's going on in the next room, and then you'd be able to get warmed up, get yourself prepared. You couldn't have a Johnny special, no Johnny flops. Like, you couldn't have one of them. Like, you'd have to be raring. So to be raring, I think you'd have to. And I think it takes a certain level of person to be involved in this, to want to do it, to be involved in that sort of pervasion.
You got to think you're going to be in that queue for like hours as well. Like, the whole time just thinking, this is all just for a quick shag. Like, do you think there was much of an atmosphere in the queue? Like,
I reckon there'd be a lot of camaraderie. I reckon there was a lot of banter going on.
Yeah.
It's like you're queuing for a ride at all the time.
Do you think they did like a Mexican wave down the queue? Like,
yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, sharing the flasks of tea with each other.
Yeah, like you're
Let's
at
do it.
the you're at the 10-minute zone. 10 minutes till lift off. It's fucking honestly like I was saying like I was saying before the pod run out, like it's honestly it's a feat of nature. Like how anyone's able to be accomplishing that is mental. Like, and I was comparing it, wasn't I, to like animals. Like there will, I don't think there's a single organism on that planet, on this whole planet, that has had that much sort of that much.
It's been buggered that much.
It's been buggered that much within that space of time. Like no bee, no hippopotamus, no lion has been rattled that many times by
That we
that many
know of.
different, like by that many different of the same species. Like there isn't any animal on Earth that has that much reproductional
Like,
scenario.
so like just thinking about it, right? So hang on, this 1,000 people, it was in 24 hours, right? So are you telling me that constantly for 24 hours she was
It's getting
right?
Yeah, like must have put a timer on. Like you can't sleep now for 24 hours.
Like the day after must just be
Yeah, like
Jesus.
yeah, and like she was. The after,
Pissing out organs, you know.
they were asking her about her love life, and like she'd mentioned, she said, "I'm just going through a divorce," and I thought, yeah, I bet you are.
Yeah.
Like, but apparently this like they'd been together since they were like at school.
yeah.
This boyfriend of hers.
Yeah, but he helped. She said he
Yeah,
helped
yeah,
on
he
the
helped.
on the day.
Yeah, he
like
helped.
that's crazy. That's
Could you like okay? Obviously, if you say now, like, could you go out with a girl that did that? You'd say no. But what happens if I said, okay, could you go out with a girl that was a multi-millionaire because of it and has promised you, listen, you just see past this little part of my life, what I do for a living. I'm only going to do it till I'm 35, but I'm 27 now, so you got 8 more years of this. I'm going to make such and such money. You're the one I want. I don't want to be anybody else. And once I retire, our life's amazing. We're going to live the best life ever. Would you do it?
I don't think I would. You know.
No. Would it bother you?
I don't really know. It just something sits off with us.
Yeah, I wonder what that something is.
Yeah.
No, I think it takes a certain type of man to one have that much confidence that you know she is the one for you, and then secondly to put up with that.
I think I'd have to be a sex worker myself to do it, because I think once you get over a certain line, it's like it to an effect it kind of becomes work. I think.
Yeah, you'd have to
Doesn't
be
it?
in
You know
that
what I mean?
industry, wouldn't you? Really?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, sex workers have to be with sex workers.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I bet there isn't, though. I bet there's some people who work in that industry who, like, just have a partner that for some warped reason can just...
Just look past it.
I say warped. It's warped to me, but, like,
It's
warped.
like you kiss your wife goodbye to go to work, and then just know, oh, she's going to work as well, but her work's just
different to mine.
She went on this.
Gobbling
She
dick.
went on this morning. I swear she went on this morning, didn't she? And
No,
like-
she didn't.
Yeah, she went on this morning.
They had her on this morning.
Yeah.
How do you even talk about that, like, at 9 o'clock in the morning?
That's mad.
I don't believe you. She wasn't on this morning. No way.
She was on one of the talk shows. There you go.
What? Right.
So what? Who's doing that these days? After Schofield, I haven't.
So that was the woman that brought on with her, who's saying you can't sexualize women, and like Bonnie's blue argument, I'm pretty sure was like I'm out there for the wives that aren't treating the husbands the way they need to be treated. Like if they're coming to me, it's because you're not doing the correct things.
Love that.
And
yeah, the woman's fault.
Yeah.
it comes back like Bonnie Blue's
Fucking
trying to
hell.
sell it as though like 10 years time she's fighting for the women that won't, you know, this is normal, like, and their argument was like, what when your kid goes to school, like what they're going to say about your mum, and then it'll be like, well, my child's going to go to a private school, get the best care, like that whole fight.
Can you imagine how many times like Kim Kardashian's kids have had to watch that sex tape? Just had it like thrown up in the face, just like.
Is Kim
Look.
Kardashian being a sex tape?
So that's your night
Yeah.
sorted.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Madness.
like it's the sex tape. Like,
Yeah. It's
Didn't
quite
know that.
bad, though. It's old and grainy. It's
yeah.
nothing on today's quality and standards.
No.
No.
Yeah, the iPhone 16 wasn't about then, you know.
It's nothing on Bonnie Blue stuff, put it that way. No. Yeah, no, look, do you know what it is? Like, I'm totally, like, on the fence with this. I'm on nobody's side. Like, 100%, get where she's coming from. She can do what she fucking wants at the end of the day. It's 2025, whatever. Like, and then I get the other side as well. Like, so, like, yeah, you're right. You are sort of, that headline there was like, I make 600K off basically young men, of all ages watching me. Like, yeah, I get that as well. That's probably not cool, but
yeah,
what
I mean,
she
was saying like she had 400,000 OnlyFans subscribers. Like, fucking bank, mate, absolute bank.
How much is each one of them paying? Do you think?
Well, let's just say it's a tenner.
It's like a tenner a month, say.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
wow. So it's 4 million a month.
I don't know if OnlyFans takes a cut out of that. Probably do, but like, I reckon she'd be doing all right. Like,
so what we're saying is she's making a couple of million a month.
Minimum, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think it's because her content's so unique. Like, nobody's doing that. You know what I mean? Like, she's, again, like, as we were saying with businesses, like, she's doing something that's never been done before. And, of course, that's going to attract some eyes. But I think, again, to be a fella, the spotlight's going to be on you. You know what I mean? Like, for years, if you do stay with her, like, spotlight then eventually comes on you. And then you get interviewed. And then it's like, oh, fuck that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. True.
Too much for me. Too many. Fucking hell.
Yeah, yeah, same.
You got to think as well. Like, there's 1,000 people for that day. I bet they turned a lot of people away as well. I bet there was easily like 3,000 people who probably went to stand in that queue.
Yeah.
Really?
Because I reckon.
I'm amazed
that
that they managed to get 1,000, mate.
What, really?
Yeah, like that.
What, knowing the male species as we three men do, like,
yeah.
100%, mate.
You think about it, like, she's got this 400,000 thingy on, that's just on one site.
Yeah.
But she's obviously got other platforms where millions of people are probably seeing her.
I've never understood why people would have subscribed to her OnlyFans. Like,
No.
mad.
No, me neither. Because if you want something like that, it's free.
Yep. Why are people paying for porn? That
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
no.
it doesn't. No.
But if you think, if she's like, she might have got that message out to millions of males and females, she might have got that message out to millions or over 1 million people, and she's telling 1,000 of them. Do you think these men are literally like, oh my God, I love her? Like, they are like, oh my God, that'd be the best ever. She's my fantasy. And you're just saying 1,000 of you can come and do it for free.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah. I reckon 10,000 people turned up, Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you said 1 million people turned up,
It's amazing the police weren't called.
Is that illegal? Pretty sure it's not illegal. The adult industry is not
just
illegal.
Straight up.
It's not paid, is it, actually?
It's not prostitution or anything. It's just shagging, yeah.
Making content.
Yeah.
That's,
It's in a house, it's in a closed residency. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's fair.
He'd be
fair
fucking
game.
wounded, that lord, though, wouldn't he?
Yeah. No, he'll have known what was going on.
Yeah, he would 100% know.
Yeah,
Do you reckon?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
He's called Lord Davenport. Fucking legendary name, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just know he's down for that shit.
I can picture him, yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, like, cracked out of his mind.
I'm amazed he wouldn't have been first in the queue.
Yeah, let's have a look at Lord Davenport. What's he look like?
He might have been, you never
I
know.
hope he looks like I think he's going to look.
I know, I'm visioning like a leopard print, like dressing gown.
I'm
thing with
picturing
the-
like a Hugh Hefner guy with
Yeah,
a smoking coat on.
absolutely.
Yeah, let's have a look. The same, is it? It's not what I was thinking,
No.
but I can see a twinkle in his eye all the same.
Oh, here we go. There you
That's
There he
exactly
is.
who it
It's
is.
exactly what I pictured. Exactly that. So there's the house. Love it. Yeah. How much do you... I'm telling you now, right? Lord Davenport got some of that first, didn't he?
Fair play at home.
Look at the smile on his face.
Look at that fucking blazer, mate.
Yep. We probably... Look at his face. Yeah, so that's what's gone down here. That's Lord Davenport's house. And he rented it out to her. Respect.
1,057.
And then immediately redecorated afterwards.
That must be wrong. That's 12 hours.
What are you saying? Oh.
1,057 men in 12 hours.
Right, so it was 12 hours, not 24
Well,
hours.
that would mean you're doing people in less than 20 seconds. That's impossible.
Would it?
Well, yeah, because it went from 42 people per hour to 84.
Right. Well, there we go. yeah, it's not really top of my list of things that I'd like to do. But you know, shout out to her. You know, big respect. You know, it sounds like we're being nasty, but whatever.
You
Look,
know, this life is a beautiful adventure that we can all take our own paths on. And
Exactly.
If that's the way you want to play it, you fucking go for it, love.
and look at us. We have to go and do a day's work, and
Yeah.
she's probably living in a mansion somewhere
Exactly. Yeah.
for her.
Surely he's no longer a lord, though. Like,
now. You can't not be a lord. Like it's like bloodline, isn't it? It's not a job.
Yeah.
I think a lord is like you're just
Oh,
born
really?
into it. Yeah, I think so. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure a lord is like family heritage and shit, isn't it?
Yeah. Look at him. He looks like he's come from old money, doesn't he?
Of course
You
he
know?
does. Yeah, he's literally Hugh Hefner's English cousin, isn't he? I like it. Respect. Yeah, do you know what? Like on that note, right? It's just obviously we've been thinking like, what would we like? You know, in a ulterior universe where nobody's involved with anybody, like, what would you know? What do you think? Right, women look for in a man. There's a thing. It just came in my head there. I just thought about it. Like, obviously, like, it doesn't have to be that. Like, I suppose another way to say it is like a partner. Doesn't matter whether you like boys, whether you like girls, whatever. Like, what do you think the traits are?
I think there's three things that women look for.
What's
I
that?
think they look for confidence. I think they look for they need to be attracted to that person. And I think the final one is not for all women, but I think some women like to look at their men and think that, yeah, they're financially stable.
Say them three again then, in short.
So confidence, sexually attracted to them, and financially stable. I think if you've got them three and the woman's looking at you like that, I think you're laughing.
Yeah. But that's coming from us. Do we know that to be a fact?
I think it
no.
depends what stage of the life they're in, to be fair, though.
Do you
Like-
think?
Like, you ain't really asked about stability when you're like before 20. You know what I mean?
I don't know, like, the money one, like, do you know from, like, my experience? Like, from my experience, like, the people I've known in my life, like, money seems to be, like, a misconception that I think that we just think it is. Like, if there is any ladies listening, like, point me in the right direction if I'm right or wrong. But, like, I'm pretty sure, like, the money one's sort of something that, like, we've made up, that, like, that money doesn't, as long as you're not, you know, starving.
Skint, yeah.
But, like, I think the money thing is more of, like, an us ego type thing, in my opinion.
Maybe
I
that
think
is
up
the
to a
case.
certain line.
Do you think?
I think as long as you can, you know, get your weekly shopping and shit like that, as long as you're above that line, I don't think it matters too much. Like, I don't think they take much notice of what car you drive, unless it's like a certain kind of woman.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, you know, a lady won't know a red car from a green car. No, I don't mean to be sexist, but, you know, the women I've known wouldn't really know.
Not asked, yeah.
No, they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
If you asked them what kind of car it was, they'd say it's red or a blue car,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
What do you think they look for, Dan?
Well, this is what sort of posed me. It's funny we brought her up because it literally came to my head. I had a conversation with my friend Adam the other day about this. It's like funny, innit, how like when it changes. I think you change when you're younger, like a younger man. What I used to think ladies wanted then is definitely different to what I think they want now.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger, I thought I had to be top dog and confident, and like it was all pretty much stuff on the outside, like
Yeah.
aesthetic stuff. Like there was no substance in it. Do you know what I mean? Like it didn't matter like who I was. It just mattered what I had and how I came across. Do you know what I mean? There was no substance
The
in it.
common thing everyone goes for is like they expect, you think that it's because you need to be like the alpha male
Yeah.
thing.
I don't know, I'm starting to change my mind on that. I'm starting to think that like things like honesty and things like loyalty and I'm starting to think that and reliability. I'm starting to think that those ones are probably more valuable than a flash car and big dick energy. Do you know what I mean?
It depends what you're going for, I think. If you're
think?
going for the long term thing, yes.
Yeah.
If you're after like the pump and dump life, like
The pump and dump life. Yeah. How were you at Chat Up Line Southpaw?
Chat up lines.
Yeah.
Uh,
You must have been good, right?
it's not. Yeah, I mean, back in my Manchester glory days, and
The heyday.
in the heyday in Manchester, there was a few, but I can't remember off the top of my head what they were. I was always just quite confident. I was always just straight over to him. Like if I fancied a lass, I'd just go straight over.
Would you? What would you open with? Just, you all right? Just.
I think there was one that I'd mentioned there. I think I would always say, there was one line in Manchester where I used to open to see where I stood with them, or like mentioning their boyfriend in some regard.
Right.
I can't remember.
I get it.
I
And
can't
they
remember
say
what that
they've got
line
one
is.
or
Yeah.
not.
Oh, your boyfriend's a lucky man. Something along those lines.
That's quite a sensible.
And then they're
really.
like, oh
Yeah.
no, like, oh, I haven't got a boyfriend. Like, no fucking way. Lass of your standard, no boyfriend. What's going on? Well, I'm 5'6". Nice to meet you, Louis Court. How you doing? Like something along those lines. I'd imagine.
I'm
would
5'6".
Yeah,
I'm really
like,
good.
no, but like just speaking straight from the point. You know what I mean? Like they know the crack. I know the crack. Like I know the single. Like we go from there. You know what I mean? That
Right,
was,
like within the first two sentences, he said he's established he hasn't got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
He said he's 5'6". So what you saying?
Yeah, so it's like instantly they're either like, oh, he's got a bit, or they're like, oh yeah, you never even had a chance. You know what I mean? And I think over the years, I think that's worked a few times, but no longer needed, of course.
My sort of chat up thing, I was never a talker. My chat up thing was, this is why I never did any good in like the one night stand world ever.
Yeah.
That was not my forte. I was more of a, I'll get you down the line
have a
type
bit
of
of a
person. Do you know what I mean?
relationship thing, yeah.
My thing was the whole like smouldering look, but I thought I looked smouldering and sexy.
And instead,
But-
you was just across the room, just gone.
I was terrifying people. Terrifying people. They were literally walking out the club, I imagine, looking behind me. Like
Making
looking
sure he's
behind
not following.
Yeah. That's sort of how I came across.
Get in.
you-
I would corner the market on the nerdy girls. It was easy for me that.
Right. So you had a pool.
Looking for a shit Doctor Who. I'm your guy. But no, I was never a chat roper. It was always just like a friend of a friend or something like that. And it was never a chat up line or anything.
Yeah. It's a dangerous roll your way though, because you could end up in friend zone.
Oh yeah. I don't believe in that.
Don't you believe in it?
Nah, I don't believe in that.
No, not for you.
Not for me.
Yeah. Well, do you know what, right? I'm not going to go into this next thing. I'm going to save it for next time because I have got a few bits that I was going to go into, but at 1 hour and what, Southpaw?
About 105.
At 105, I'm not going to go down these. I'm going to save them for next time.
Save them for next time.
Have we missed anything, gentlemen?
No, I think we've covered it all. We've got our opinions out. We've discussed.
Covered some ground there.
Yeah, we've covered some ground. Discussed bosses. Discussed the sort of feat of me joining Dash, and then we went into Bonnie. So yeah,
We did.
Bit of food in there as well.
Yeah, a bit
Bit of
food.
business ideas. Somalian pirates, but no, it's been a good one.
It was. Listen, everybody, thank you for coming and thank you for watching. That's the end of it. This has been People Like Us, and we will see you next time.